Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Stephanie Aguilar. Sorry about that. I am a residential advocate at our emergency shelter at Denton County Friends of the Family. Side note, today's my work anniversary. I've been with the agency for about 8 years now, and I'm super happy to be with y'all today to talk about our Hispanic Heritage Month. This is a community conversation. We have these regularly with our community here on Facebook. And so just a little bit about Hispanic Heritage Month. It's celebrated from September 15th to October 15th annually. And we do this month to celebrate the contributions and importance of Hispanics and Latinos in the United States and those American citizens whose ancestors come from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. The Hispanic Heritage Observance began in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. It was enacted into law on August 17th, 1988 on approval of Public Law 100-402. Very important to know our history, right? So I am joined today on this conversation by some of the most brilliant and incredible, and may I add, beautiful Hispanic and Latinx women that I know. Ladies, thank you for being here. At this time, if each of you will take a minute to introduce yourselves, tell us your names, your role here at the agency, and I'll call on you guys just kind of in the order that I see you on my screen so we don't all jump in over each other. So we'll start with you, Diana.
Well, hi, my name is Diana Hernandez, and I am with the Battery Intervention and Prevention Program. In Spanish, that's el Programa de Intervención y Prevención de Violencia. I am the intake specialist, and I facilitate our women's group, some of our men's groups, and our adolescent group as well.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll go to Luisa next.
Hola a todo el mundo, yo me llamo Luisa, yo soy una defensora aquí en Amigos de la Familia. Mi trabajo es tratar de comunicar y darle recursos a nuestros clientes para salir de una transición de su vida a otra. Nosotros aquí nos especializamos en ayudar a nuestras clientelas a retomar su vida.
Thank you, Luisa. So Luisa is an advocate here at our agency, and I think if you asked each of our advocates, they would give just a tiny different bit of description on their job, because I think everyone has their own kind of specialties, right? Things that we're stronger in, and that's the important part of being a team here, is that not everyone has to know everything. We work together very collaboratively within each department and each team, and then across the agency, and then with our community partners. So thank you, Luisa. We'll go next to Alicia.
Hola, yo soy Alicia. Yo igual soy una vocera como Luisa. Trabajo con los clientes, los asisto conectándose con los recursos que ellos necesitan, los asisto conectándose al departamento legal, yendo a corte con ellos y otras necesidades que ellos tengan.
Okay, gracias, Alicia. Next, we'll go to Verónica.
Buenas tardes, amigos y familias. Simplemente les puedo decir que yo me llamo Verónica Rodríguez. Soy la especialista de servicios de aquí de la oficina principal de aquí de Corinth, Texas. Normalmente yo ayudo aquí en la oficina del frente. Cuando ustedes entren por las puertas, me van a ver a mí en principal. Yo les voy a ayudar con lo que ustedes necesiten. Aquí estoy a sus órdenes. Damos aquí servicios de la agencia de Amigos de la Familia, pero preguntas también me pueden llamar. Siempre estoy disponible.
Gracias, Vero. Many of you may already know Vero's face and her voice just because she is pretty much the frontline voice of our agency, and we're so fortunate to have Veronica here with her dedication to our agency and dedication to our clients and the constantly ringing phones, right? We're always so busy, but Vero always takes such great care of our clients to make sure that we are paying attention to the needs that you have when you come to our agency. So thank you, Vero, for everything that you do. Alicia, real quickly, in your answer, you talked about connecting clients with the legal department. Can you talk to us a little bit about the things that our legal department, since they're not represented here today, can you tell a little bit about what our legal department does for our clients?
Yes, so our legal department assist clients that are financially unable to represent themselves or get an attorney themselves. They can help them with a variety of different things, either going through a divorce or, getting child support, an order settled with their partner. Maybe they need a protective order and are not able to go through the DA's office. Then we can definitely put in a referral to go through our legal department to help them get that representation that they need.
Okay, thank you. And Luisa, for someone who wants to access those legal services or any of the services that we're going to talk about today that we offer, how would someone go about becoming our client here?
Absolutely. So the first thing would be definitely to get signed up with intake, being able to kind of go forward with that. And then they'll be connected to an advocate, and the advocate will be able to just kind of work with the client and try and get them connected to those legal resources. Because one of the great things about our agency is that we have partnered with some amazing resources in the community that can also assist our clients, right? And we can get them connected with some immediate legal advice. And so those are some of the things that we can do here. And it's just a matter of, even if you want to have a question answered, you're curious about something, that's the benefit and really the beauty of connecting with an advocate.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think having an advocate to go through those processes with you, right? Once we make the referral to an agency, sometimes it's an agency that they've tried to connect to before on their own,
Right.
but weren't able to complete their follow through for whatever reason. Or sometimes some agencies that, most of our community partners that we partner with, we try to help them provide trauma-informed responses to domestic violence victims. But sometimes, they're not the domestic violence experts that we are. And so sometimes it can be a little hard for a survivor to communicate with those partners. So having us to help them along the way with those connections can be really helpful, and hopefully help them have a more successful outcome with those partner agencies. So thank you for that answer. Another point of entry that a person might become our client is through our shelter. And so we do have a 24-hour crisis line where clients can call to our emergency crisis line to learn about those resources. Maybe they're not our client yet, but they need some immediate information, help for housing, where can I get some maybe low cost or free medical help. We can provide them with information like that on our crisis line. We do sometimes get calls from people who are not necessarily survivors or not necessarily looking for safety resources, but looking for just community resources in general. And of course, we're glad to provide those types of referrals from our crisis line as well. But our shelter is another entry point into service for the agency. And so it is an emergency shelter. To be honest, it is often at capacity, but I think it's important to contact us anyway, because we can be able to help you connect with other shelters in the area that may have a space for you until the time that you're able to come to our shelter. Our shelter provides for all basic needs for clients while they're there, for women and children in our shelter. And then if we did have to house a male victim offsite, we would do that as well. But we provide all basic things, food, water, all the things that you need to be able to survive. And then we connect you with those resources like Luisa and Alicia were talking about. And then we have all the in-house services that you would be able to access at our outreach office, such as counseling for an adult or a child, legal services for mom, case management services. All of those things would still be available in our shelter as well. Diana, can you tell us how a person might be connected to your program in BIP?
Sure. Well, we receive referrals from a lot of the criminal justice system. So we will get referrals from probation, parole. Sometimes we will get CPS referrals as well. We also get voluntary clients or clients that are coming to us through the court, through a court order, either through divorce or custody hearings. And we will also get protective order referrals as well.
Okay. And so then when someone has a protective order, you're saying that the respondent or the batterer in that order would be ordered to your services by a court, possibly?
Yes, potentially.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Veronica, do you want to talk a little bit about what happens when someone calls you and asks for our services, what kind of the process would be for them?
Yes, so basically what happens is normally what we'll do is I will get phone calls that come in. Normally we start off with, are you a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault? Most importantly, I feel that we always have to expand to asking them, domestic violence doesn't necessarily mean physical abuse. It's also emotional, verbal, mental abuse. Because sometimes when the callers come in, whether it's English speakers or Spanish speakers, we get to the point where they say, well, I don't believe this is for me. And that's where I stop them and I'm like, hold on a minute, let me find out to see a little bit more in depth, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, anything in general. That's when they start opening up and they're starting to say, I did not know that was me. I did not know that I was in that category. So once we start, I do start letting them know, everything's confidential. A lot of them are concerned, are scared. What if I say something to this person? Where is it going to go to? I do let them know, we can start off with an intake appointment. Basically, we schedule them. They will talk to our intake specialist, to one of our interns, one of our coordinators, just to coordinate with them. I do talk to them. We get a little bit of feedback. I do also let them know at the very beginning. I will pinpoint a couple of things. I won't go so much in depth because a lot of the times, a lot of clients prefer not to talk so much about because it's always repeating and repeating and repeating. And I know that's always very uncomfortable, or it's very hard because I know they've spoken with police officers, detectives, CPS, and so forth. It goes beyond. Once we schedule them, we do let them know, we're going to reach out to you. As of right now, the intakes are being held either by phone, by Zoom, or they can come in person. And I think that's a little bit good for a lot of the clients because some of them actually are working. Some of them are single mothers. Some of them are just single, trying to, it's too far for them. And some of them can actually just, step out and then actually do the intake right then and there. So I believe that that's really important to find out, they're working on their schedule. Once everything goes on, we do talk to them. We'll let them know, we'll provide you a lot of services. Free. I believe once they hear that, they're so concerned because I know there's a lot of counseling, there's a lot of different other services that charge, and they're always looking for so many services that they can actually, especially right now with what we're going through, they actually need that help, and that support. And then normally what I just tell them is, during the meeting, it just allows them to tell us what they need and learn how we can best help them. And mainly just being there to, to support, mainly just letting them know, you actually called, you actually came through those doors. That's the hardest thing that you're doing is reaching out and saying that I need help and letting them know that, the support of the agency is always there for them. And I'm always there just in case they need anything. And of course, all of us, because working together, that's the most important thing. We can actually always keep our clients safe at all times.
Yes. And I wanted to touch on two things you said. You were talking about how, some people are starting to come to the office more,
Yeah.
and so the things that the pandemic has, there's been all the terrible things about the pandemic, but one of maybe I guess the silver lining is that we're able to now provide these virtual intakes and virtual services to clients that we weren't really able to meet before. And so there can be a number of reasons that a client wouldn't come in, work schedules, maybe the abuser doesn't allow them to leave the home, so they haven't been able to safely get here, or transportation is a huge barrier for so many of our clients. And so being able to do these things virtually, being able to have an intake virtually, being able to meet with their advocate over Zoom, being able to have telehealth, right? Have their counseling in a HIPAA safe format, and then also being able to have legal consults virtually. Like, it's all been great to be able to do that for our clients. So thank you for bringing up the many ways that we can.
Yes, ma'am.
Clients. And then also you talked about the many ways that we can support, like the tangible helps, right? Like, we try really hard to provide practical solutions. Like, it's one thing to sit on the phone and give you suggestions, but to be able to give you a real solution to your emergency problem, which may be, I'm running out of food stamp money, I can't really ask the abuser for more grocery money, I need some help accessing more food for my family. Great, come visit our food pantry, or let us tell you about, other resources in the community, or let us help you try to safely apply for SNAP, right? Let us help you try to safely apply for child support or things like that that may increase your budget. And so helping them to do these things in a safe manner is what we can help them do. So yeah, just the connections that we provide, I think, is just such a huge part of what our agency does. Yeah, so did anybody else have anything else to add about ways that clients can become our clients, or some of the things that you do specifically in your roles that you wanted to talk about? Okay.
I'd like to add, yeah, I'd like to add that a lot of our battering intervention program referrals, we ask them to tell us their partner or ex-partner's name, and then we also have a partner advocate program where we are able to make contact with them through the phone, or we also send them a pamphlet in the mail, and so they can get connected to victim services through our partner advocate program. We'll call and let them know that those services are available to them. They're free. We'll also let them know that if they need the crisis line, that's available to them as well. And so that's another way that our clients can get connected to the victim program.
That's really great. And one of the things that I've learned in my experience here is that the offender accountability, which is what the BIT program is for, and the client safety go together, right? So it's really important that you guys have that advocate that is reaching out to the clients whose batterer is in services to make sure that she's safe throughout. And so that's a really great service that I think that we provide. So moving right along, we are having this particular conversation right in the middle of Hispanic Heritage Awareness Month, because it is important not only to each of us, but to us as an agency to share more about our relationship to the Hispanic community. In 2020 alone, our agency served over 1,200 victims who identified themselves as Hispanas or Latin, part of the Latinx community. So I know each of you agreed to be a part of this conversation today, or for one reason or another, right? Love for your community, love for your job, love for the connections that we have here in the agency. So would anyone mind sharing why Hispanic Heritage Month is important to you, or what you would like our listeners to know about that?
Pues voy a contestar en español porque siento que es importante hacerlo. Para mí es sumamente importante este mes celebrando lo que es la comunidad latina, Latinx, porque nosotros somos muy fundamental en nuestra comunidad. Y muchas veces me sorprende saber cuántas personas no conocen de nuestra agencia, no conocen de nuestros servicios y lo están necesitando. Y algo que me encanta de la comunidad latina es que nosotros, Latinx, es que nosotros somos una comunidad que nos abrazamos, que somos muy unidos. Y a usted escuchar esta plática hoy aquí en este webinar sería sumamente de gran beneficio a las personas en su comunidad, que si usted ve a alguien que está necesitando estos servicios, que puedan llamarnos. Aquí nosotros respetamos la autonomía de cada persona, respetamos su decisión, es su vida, pero nosotros queremos que las personas se sientan que puedan hacer una transición a una vida saludable, a una vida segura, a una vida confiada, que ellos puedan decir, ok, esta es mi vida y la voy a vivir de una manera sana. Entonces, para mí es sumamente importante estar aquí y más también hablar en español para que se sepa que aquí hay personas latinas, Latinx, así como yo, y que entendemos la cultura, entendemos las tradiciones, entendemos todas esas cosas, pero estamos aquí para servirles. Por eso para mí era muy importante estar aquí hoy.
Gracias, Luisa. Yeah, I agree with that totally. It's important to know that you can come here, que puedes ver a alguien que se siente como usted, que tiene los mismos tradiciones, mismas culturas, en veces también las mismas situaciones que enfrentes cuando tratas de salir de bueno, pero no puedes por una razón u otra, ¿verdad? So thank you, Luisa, for that. I think that it's important to be able to go somewhere and know that someone can empathize with you and feel with you the things that you're experiencing, not just in your domestic violence situation, but in our social and political climates as well, that you're going to find someone who can empathize with you about why you might not feel safe coming somewhere for help, why you might not feel safe approaching a legal system or a criminal justice system that some people might not feel confident or safe about at this time. And so it's important for us to be able to help clients address those and let them know that we are here to help them navigate those. And I'll say all the time, safely, right? Anybody can go do these things. Anyone can drive their friend to the DA's office. Anyone can go with their sister to the police department. But to be able to do these things safely and to be able to seek the help from someone who is an expert in those things to help you do those things safely. So thank you, Louisa. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to share about the importance of Hispanic Awareness Month, or just kind of what you feel your role is specifically here as a Hispanic person or part of the Latina community?
I think for me, it's very important to a lot of our community. Normally, just like Luisa just commented, yeah, there's so many of the community Hispanos that que honestly, they don't know anything about our agency. Some of them are even, close to other friends that actually direct them here, and they usually come in through those doors, hoping that one person will speak to them in Spanish, which sometimes I do. And believe me, I've had some of them that are, not Spanish speakers, and I still, I still speak with them in Spanish just to verify so they can actually feel at home and that support. Once, you step forward and I speak with them, that's when they feel more comfortable, where they're saying, thank you so much for just at least talking. Even with some of the Alicia, Luisa, Mari, which is one of our staff counselors. Stephanie, you two, usually when we're there and I'm busy on the phone, you see that one person come in and y'all just, y'all step in and you actually do speak with that. They need that. They need that one person to actually say, you know what, I do have somebody that speaks Spanish that can actually reach out to me, and I can actually come here and receive that help. And I think that's very important because, honestly, yes, there's so many people that don't know about the agency, and they do need to know, because the support is here. All the services that we offer, individual counseling, group counseling, outreach and referrals, crisis intervention, community education, the legal advocacy team, just like you said, Stephanie, the food pantry, feminine hygiene products, a lot of our clients that come from different states, different cities, from different other countries that are coming in and have their children and come in with nothing. We have our vouchers, thrift store vouchers that we give to them. We provide them, like we said, school supplies where, they're struggling. They come with nothing. Even at the shelter, they come in with nothing, and they need that help. They need that support. And that's the one piece of hand that we can actually lean forward and actually say, I've got you. I've got you and your family to actually give that support and provide all the services that you need here at this agency. So, but for me,
I think that that's a really cool part of our job, right? Because it can definitely be difficult at times. It's really difficult. And but I think one of the kind of rewarding things or the part that feels good is when you're able to give someone a solution, when you're able to tell them, don't worry, we got you. We're going to help you with this thing, and sometimes those solutions are a process that can be lengthy, can be weeks or months, especially in the shelter. It's really hard to help someone find housing. In Denton County, we're such a growing county, which means then we serve more people, but also it means that housing can be harder to access. The resources can be harder to access. And so it feels really good to be able to see someone move out into their own home, or, something as day-to-day as picking up a bag of groceries or a pack of diapers or whatever it may be. Laundry detergent. I remember one time telling a client, yeah, I think we have some Tide, and she was just so grateful, and it's things that I think when you live in a safe home and you have all the resources that you need, sometimes we can take those things for granted. And so it feels really great to be able to help someone be able to get those things. So we have a question coming through asking the advocates, Alicia and Luisa, if they can tell us kind of a day-to-day or what a week in the life of an advocate might look like. Does anybody want to share about that?
Let me tell you, it varies week by week, day by day.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Sometimes it's a laid back day where you're just completing service plans with clients. A service plan is something that we go over with the client to see what different resources we can provide them or where exactly we need to start from. Because maybe they think in their head that they have this certain need that is something that needs to be taken care of like right now. But we, go based off, okay, but your safety comes first. First is your safety. And then, if you need food, you can come to the pantry. We can help you with hygiene products. Other times it's more like, hey, I need to make a police report. Can you go with me? And so that's one of the things that we do is we accompany clients to either their police interview or to make that police report, because a lot of our Latinx community have that barrier of communication. And with my clients a lot, I see that is that they're either scared to make the report because they have that language barrier, or just scared to go by themselves, right? So honestly, I feel like our days they vary, honestly, just by different situations. But we want people to know that we're here to help you no matter what your need is. There's no need too little and no need too big for us, because we always look for different resources. If we can't help you, we'll try to find somebody else who can provide that service for you. En español lo voy a decir, todos los días es diferente aquí en Amigos de la Familia. Algunos días nomás hacemos los planes de servicio para ver qué recursos podemos ofrecer a nuestros clientes. Empezamos ahí para ver en dónde tenemos que empezar con tu caso. Si tú necesitas comida, necesitas cosas higiénicos, nosotros tenemos esos aquí en nuestra agencia que te podemos ayudar con eso. Si necesitas ropa, nosotros te podemos dar un cupón para nuestra tienda de segunda, para que tú vayas comprando lo que necesites. Nosotros también acompañamos a nuestros clientes a la policía. Si en caso usted necesita hacer un reporte, nosotros vamos con usted con gusto. Si necesita ir a la corte, vamos con usted. Queremos que usted sepa que no hay un problema muy grande ni muy chico para nosotros. Si nosotros no te podemos ayudar, nosotros te vamos a buscar quién te puede ayudar. Y una cosa que le quiero decir al público es que nosotros estamos aquí no para juzgarte. Tu vida es tu vida. No estamos para juzgarte, pero nosotros te creemos. Yo sé que en la comunidad hispana muchos dicen, pues no quiero decir nada porque yo sé que no me van a creer. Pero nosotros hemos escuchado historias, o sea, nada es muy absurdo para nosotros. Queremos que sepas que nosotros estamos aquí para ayudarte, sea lo que sea.
Gracias, Alicia. Luisa, ¿usted tiene algo que decir sobre eso?
I think Alicia covered pretty much everything what our week looks like. I work with her, so that's pretty much what my week looks like. And I just want to echo another beautiful thing about the work that we do here is that we do work collaboratively. There is teamwork, and it's safe to go to a colleague, a supervisor, and just kind of ask questions, because like Alicia said, our heart is, and what we want to do is help our clients get connected to the resources that they need. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that we haven't mentioned just yet is our connection to, we've talked a lot about like legal things, our connections with working with CPS caseworkers, whether it be an investigation, a family-based safety service plan, or also a conservatorship. And so we have in-house some advocates that are very skilled, very knowledgeable about working with CPS. And so we can definitely work with a person who has a CPS case. Like Alicia was mentioning, we aren't here to judge you for what's happening. If your CPS case is related to a domestic violence issue, we definitely want to help you come up with some safe resources, and also a viable safety plan, right? We don't want you to have a safety plan that is not ever going to work for you. And so if you need some help advocating for yourself in regards to an abusive partner or other parent of your children, and you need help with that CPS case, we can help you with that too. And then also we are connected with some immigration services, which a lot of people in our Hispanic community may need some help with. And so if you are a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault, we can most definitely help you connect with some resources that can help you do things like see if you're qualified for a U visa or some VAWA what's the word I'm looking for, some VAWA coverage for you there. So definitely some things that we can help you connect with too. So we had another question come through, and this one is for you, Diana. And so the viewers have seen and heard that you're very bilingual, and they want to know if that means that BIP services then are also provided in Spanish.
Sí, nuestro equipo aquí en el programa de intervención de violencia es completamente bilingüe. Somos 3 y los 3 hablamos español. Si quieren llamarnos o hacer una cita para una sesión inicial, le van a contestar en español. También los documentos que tenemos también están en español, y tenemos un grupo de BIPs en español también. Y estamos aquí para servirles en español también.
Okay, and then another question for you, Diana, is can you talk to us a little bit more about how BIP creates that accountability piece that clients need for their safety?
Yeah, sure. So our program is focused on, it's a psychoeducational program, so that kind of means what it sounds like, a combination of education and some group counseling. Not necessarily counseling, but we do have some variation on that, where we will talk about the different systems that work towards creating abusive dynamics. We talk about why a lot of men are abusive towards their partners. We talk about it's a safe space for men to discuss what they've done and share their belief systems. And it's cool because we have a lot of men in our program that are almost done. They're like it's a 27-week program, so a lot of them are about to leave, and they're really it's changed their perspective, and they're in a group with someone who's just starting out, and so they get to see what change can look like. And so accountability is something that we focus on a lot at the BIP program. We want to see you take accountability for your choices and your actions. And so we focus a lot on that. What is it that you can control? You can only control yourself. And so we focus on changing those behaviors and changing those belief systems so that men can learn to be more accountable in their relationships and to have healthier relationships as well.
That's great. And I think what we know is the cause of domestic violence is, power and control, right? A person wanting to exert their power and control over another person, and it's 100% a choice, right? There may be other things that kind of exacerbate the situation, like drug or alcohol use, unemployment, mental health, things like that can definitely add more intensity to those situations, but the root cause of it is power and control. And so it is a choice. And so you were talking about them being able to change their perspectives and make better decisions and choices about their relationship. So I think the BIP program is fantastic. It's really exciting to get to talk to victims about that and say, this is another service we offer. And for them to know that we're not just here to help them with their safety, but if there is a partner that they're trying to co-parent with, or, if they see any hope of reconciling or anything like that, that there is something that can be done for that abusive partner to get him some help and be able to change his actions as well. So thank you for talking about that. We do have another question coming through here. So for anyone, if someone is undocumented, does that, can anyone give an answer about if that would impact their ability to access our services?
Absolutely not. We welcome everyone. And in fact, I'll say that because we partner with such amazing, other organizations that want to help our folks, we're going to actually see what we can do to help get them, connected if it applies for them. So that's not a problem at all.
Right. I think Alicia was saying earlier, there's no problem too large or too small for us. And honestly, immigration can be such a barrier for people to do so many things, to access housing, to access employment and stuff like that. And so we don't want to be another barrier, right? We don't want to be our own barrier. So we definitely welcome clients who are seeking help in that regard as well. Also, honestly, sometimes there are some clients who are undocumented and don't maybe want to change that at this time, right? And so we definitely are accepting of that as well. Okay, so thank you guys for all of your answers. Moving right along, each year, the National Council of Hispanic Employment Program Managers chooses a particular theme for Hispanic Heritage Month. This year's theme is Esperanza, or hope. That ties so seamlessly to the work that we do here, and it's part of our mission to help create and foster hope for our clients. If you want to see more information about this year's National Council of Hispanic Employment Program Managers theme and poster winners, those things will be posted in the comments below. I believe we were short one of our speakers today, but we were going to talk a little bit about Denton County Friends of the Family at community events. And so I know some of those things, and if I leave anything out and you guys want to add anything, please do. I know that we will be out at the National Night Out with the Denton Police Department next week. We'll have that posted on our Facebook page if it's not already there. Louisa and I will be at the Denton Parks and Rec. They are having a Hispanic Heritage Awareness event next Saturday. I believe it's at the MLK Center. We'll share that as well. And then, of course, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That's our month, right? That's when we shine. It's when we're probably most visible in the community. And so we will be having events, I think on a weekly basis next month. And so those will be posted on our Facebook page as well. So please join us, come out and meet us, come hang out with us, and learn more about domestic violence awareness, learn more about what we can do to help you. Sometimes you may be the link for a person, right? Maybe your friend or family member or neighbor or someone may need some help. And while they might appreciate your support, we definitely encourage you to connect people who are seeking that help with our agency so that we can work together to help them find some safety. Is there anything else as far as like a public event or anything else that anybody else wanted to add? Okay, so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for all of your information. Thank you for doing the jobs that you do. Our jobs can be really difficult at times, but I know that on a personal level, I appreciate you. I'm very fortunate to get to work with all of you. Our clients are very lucky to have each of you here in the roles that you do. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing hard work. Working in trauma, right, is really difficult. You know, we all have our families, our schools, our lives, our personal lives. And so being able to pour as much of yourself as you do into this job, thank you, seriously. And thank you to all of the people who watched our conversation today. Share this on your page, put it out there. You never know who may need this information. We're always here to help. And then if anybody else doesn't have anything else to share, we'll go ahead and sign off. And thank you again for joining us.